Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Next up for you today we're going to be taking a look at another figure from the Vintage Collection, Wave 3. This time around it's one of Jabba's goons and it's this guy here. This is Wooof. Quite a peculiar name for a peculiar character. This figure was part of the original Vintage lineup, and it's nice to see Hasbro have carried on elements of the original Vintage figure into the modern day release. I'll get onto those in just a moment. But first up we're going to take a look at the packaging that this guy comes in. Alright, with the past couple of figures that I've shown you, this particular figure's packaging is a direct reproduction of the original Vintage card back. As you can see, you've got the Return of the Jedi logo at the top there, so there's a very cool image on the back. On the reverse side of the card you've got the original Wooof card, although as you can see on there, this figure was known as Klaatu back then. There you've got the Vintage Collection description, as well as the rest of the wave pictured along the bottom. And of course on the front there you've got the Mail Away Boba Fett sticker, which I will be reviewing soon actually, because I've got one of these on the way from the US, so that's something to look forward to. Anyway, that's the packaging for Wooof. Once again, quite a strange name. Now the figure itself, in my opinion, aside from say the Gamorrean Guard or Admiral Akbar, is probably one of the best from the wave. The sculpt, the detail, and as I said, some of those vintage elements that Hasbro have carried over into this figure just make him one of the standout figures from the wave. As you can see, he has the head sculpt that I believe belongs to the Nikto species. This guy is very similar in character to the Guran figure that was released in the Legacy collection. At first glance I actually thought that these two figures used the same head sculpt, just repainted, but once you get a closer look you can kind of tell that there are slight differences between the two. In terms of accessories, this guy comes with a removable helmet, and that really gives you a better look at all the detail and sculpting in the head. As you can see, you've got all the scaly skin textures there, really nicely picked up, and the helmet sits nice and snugly in place. It also comes with a removable bandolier, which as you can see appears to have ammo pouches or grenades of some sort attached to it. And of course it does come with the standard Skiff Guard force pike, which is once again very nicely detailed with some nice paint applications. And he also, in the holster on his belt, comes with the generic Skiff Guard blaster pistol as well. So that's pretty cool. Now, as I said, this figure does indeed carry on elements of the original Vintage collection, well, the original Vintage figure from the 80s, and that is seen in the sheepskin loincloth that this figure has. As you can see, it's not made out of some sort of cheap, thin material or plastic. It's made out of original repro sheepskin, very similar to the original Wooof or Klaatu figure, as you can see there. So it's very, very cool. Really do like that. I think that really sets this figure apart from some of the others in my opinion. And in terms of articulation, this guy has a ball jointed neck, ball hinge shoulders and elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball hinge knees and ankles. And once again, that sculpt is absolutely superb. Very, very impressed with this figure. Highly recommend picking him up, especially if you've got a Jabba's Palace display going on in your collection. I personally love the Jabba's Palace scene, so to get all the weird and wonderful aliens from that scene, it's a personal voyage of mine that I've been taking for the past couple of years, just collecting all the various aliens. So there we go, that is Wooof from the Vintage Collection Wave 3. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with 2 more figures from this wave next. So stay tuned for those, and until next time, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.